gentlemen, thank you all for joining us today. It's so exciting to be here back in Las Vegas in person. So thank you all for joining us and being part of our audience. And also welcome to all of you who are joining us online from around the world. So are you excited for today? We have some amazing new products to show you. So let's go ahead and get started. And you guys all know us well. At AMD, we're all about high performance and adaptive computing, and really using technology to create solutions to the world's most important challenges. Now, whether you're talking about cloud services or 5G networks or AI or automotive or PCs, AMD technology is truly everywhere, touching the lives of billions of people every single day. Now, we're in an incredibly busy time for AMD. It's an incredible period of innovation. We're in the midst of introducing actually 4 new architectures to the market across more than a dozen products. So if you look at it, we started with the Ryzen 7000 launch in September, and many of you joined us there. Next week, we're going to bring Zen 4 to high-end server processors.
I'm here at the event watching you guys watch the event.
And we also have our Zen 4 C core optimized for cloud-native computing and our next-gen XDNA architecture that are going to launch in 2023. But of course, today, it's all about gaming, and we're here to talk about our next-generation gaming architecture with RDNA 3. So now just a minute about gaming, right? We all love gaming. Gaming is really in AMD's DNA. And when you look through 2025, we're expecting 3.5 billion gamers in the world. And our goal is really to push the limits of gaming innovation to really provide the best solutions across the board together with all of our gaming partners. So whether you're talking about developers creating new games and experiences, or you're talking about the companies that are serving the content, or you're playing your games on your devices, or you're a streamer that are really trying to stream those experiences to other gamers, our mission is to bring you the best experience possible for all of your gaming platforms. Now, Ryzen processors and Radeon graphics are really at the heart of all of the world's most popular gaming devices, including the top gaming PC OEM systems, cloud gaming services, Sony PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, Valve Steam Deck. We're also bringing gaming to automotive with the newest generation of Teslas. And of course, for all of the folks out there who are building your own PCs, we love the DIY market for all of the PCs that you build. Now, when you think about that, why is gaming so important to AMD? It's really all about pushing the envelope on innovation. Just over a month ago, we launched our next generation desktop PC processor, the Ryzen 7000 series, which was really the most advanced processors for gamers and creators. And the response has been really incredible. We have leadership performance per watt, we have phenomenal gaming and creative performance, and it's all enabled by our new Zen 4 core in 5 nanometer. Now, with Ryzen 7000, we also launched our next generation AM5 desktop platform, which has all of the latest I/O, and we're committing to delivering socket longevity on that through 2025 and beyond for lots of future upgrades. And we also know that people love AM4, and AM4 is going to continue for a long, long time. And for there, Ryzen 7 5800X3D is also a fantastic choice for gamers. Now, today, it's all about the next generation of Radeon graphics and how we deliver the future of gaming with the world's most advanced graphics architecture, RDNA 3. So let me start and tell you a little bit about RDNA 3. We really set truly ambitious goals for RDNA 3. And as you know, at the forefront for what we're doing is it's all about power and energy efficiency. And we want to make sure that we continue to innovate around performance per watt leadership to enable all of the gamer upgrades to be done with fantastic performance, but at a reasonable power. And we also wanted to significantly raise the bar in performance to support the next generation of 4K gaming and beyond, and really recognize that there are a lot of faster and higher resolution displays. And then finally, we also look at it as not just about the chip and not just about the card, but really what is the gaming experience we can bring. And that means new AMD software features, that means platform technologies, and really end-to-end solutions with our CPUs and GPUs and software coming together. So there's a lot of innovation in RDNA 3, and we'll tell you all about it today. Now, there's a lot been said about our new chiplet design, so let me start with our chiplet design. This is the world's first chiplet gaming GPU.
For people asking,
Now, why
RDNA
did we
3 is
use
AMD's new
Chiplets
GPUs
really
and their
allow us
technology. Just wanted to
use
let
a
you guys know
modular
that, because I saw some
approach
questions.
to optimize the performance and efficiency of the overall design. And so with our chiplets, like we've done on the CPU side, on the GPU side, we're mixing and matching the right technology for each function. Now, the graphics compute die is a high-performance 5-nanometer technology design, and it contains all of the high-performance compute in the GPU. That includes the shaders, the display engine, and a brand new media engine as well. And then the other die is a memory cache die, and it's built in 6-nanometer process technology and includes the memory subsystem that features the GDDR6 controllers, as well as up to 96 megabytes of Infinity Cache. And as a result, we have just an incredible capability with more than 61 teraflops of compute. By the way, do you guys think you need 61 teraflops of compute? We also have the world's fastest chiplet interconnect to enable 5.3 terabytes per second of peak bandwidth. And that allows us to unlock the full potential of 24 gigabytes of GDDR6. So altogether, when you put that together, we have 58 billion transistors in this design, which gives us just an incredible amount of gaming performance.
Yeah, 61 is a lot.
It sounds like there's a few excited people out there. Okay, so now let me show you for the very first time our newest chiplet gaming GPU.
Classic Lisa Su moment right there. It's like her favorite part of the job.
This may be my favorite part of my job, I think.
Nailed it.
All right, so look, as I said earlier, we set very ambitious goals for RDNA 3, especially around energy efficiency. And I'm pleased to say that we actually exceeded our goals. So our engineers did a fantastic job, and we made great improvements between RDNA 1 and RDNA 2. And with RDNA 3, we actually achieved a 54% gen-over-gen improvement in performance per watt. And when you put all of that together into what really matters, we're about building the best products for you. So today, I'm incredibly proud that we're going to announce our first two RDNA 3 graphics cards. The Radeon RX, the Radeon RX 7900 XTX with 24 gigabytes of GDDR6 and the 7900 XT with 20
I like the
gigabytes.
design.
So you can imagine, these are just incredible gaming cards. So now I'm going to turn it over to Sam, Scott, and Frank that are going to take you through all of the exciting
What do you guys think of the
details.
design? I think the design
Sam?
looks actually really good.
Well, thank you, Lisa. Well, as she said, with RDNA 3, our vision was to engineer the most advanced 4K and 8K gaming platform for gamers and creators.
Okay, guys, it's kind of
features,
the tech deep dive now.
To provide the best gaming experience. To achieve this vision, we have brought unprecedented innovation to all aspects of the design. Now, it's my privilege to hit on a few of those highlights for you this morning. The first and most evident innovation is that we have leveraged our industry-leading expertise in chiplets, honed on our Ryzen and EPYC lines, to bring chiplet architecture to GPUs. The magic of chiplet design is being able to use the right technology for the right job. So we created two very different chiplets connected with high bandwidth interconnects specific to graphics. With the graphics compute die, we spin that precious 5-nanometer silicon where it matters, in the core GPU engine where all the computation occurs to enable great performance and performance per watt. For that small memory cache die, we use the mature 6-nanometer technology to implement the GDDR6 memory interfaces and our second-generation Infinity Cache. These diminutive but powerful MCDs feature a second-generation Infinity Cache, each connected to 64 bits of high-speed GDDR6 memory, combined up to a width of 384 bits. We've tuned this Infinity Cache to enable better data reuse with less capacity to accomplish several things for us. With the high hit rates, it directly sources most of the memory requests, and this delivers data to the engine in less
Raise your hand
time
if you know what they're talking about.
and uses less power than going out to DRAM. With our high bandwidth Infinity Fabric chiplet interconnect, we've increased the peak bandwidth from our RDNA 2 implementation by an astonishing 2.7 times. And that's where that 5.3 terabytes per second number you just heard comes from. These support the gaming at the highest resolutions. So now I want to take you a little bit deeper, click down into that graphics compute die, which is built around our new RDNA 3 compute units, where we've continued with our area-efficient unified architecture that shares resources between rendering, AI, and ray tracing to make most effective use of each transistor. In addition, contained within this GCD is a key part of delivering a great gaming experience, driving the latest displays with massive refresh rates for high-resolution gaming. All of the latest media formats are in there with our media and display engines. Now to the core of the engine, which is the new unified RDNA 3 compute unit, specifically optimized for high-resolution gaming. The key word here is unified, which means we have a tightly integrated unit which shares resources to deliver the most power and
I like it, Shatlin.
performance. We've tuned it to provide the right blend of flexible, highly efficient stream processing, additional AI acceleration capabilities, and greatly enhanced ray tracing acceleration. All of this is fed by a general purpose register file with 50% more capacity than the RDNA 2 design, which boosts the performance of all the functions. To deliver this well-rounded feature set, we've leveraged 5 nanometer to the fullest to pack 54% more transistors in less area, increasing our
Cache,
density
yes, they
by
have.
165%. Well, as every chip designer knows, it's a lot of transistors. And as every chip designer knows, smaller is faster and more power efficient. And so this enables RDNA 3 to deliver even a better gaming experience. Now, looking at the stream processors, we took a huge step in RDNA 3 by going to dual issue Wave32 units. This enables us to better utilize the data paths by issuing 2 different instructions down each 32-lane SIMD, or we can use them in parallel like we did in RDNA 2. We can issue different integer or floating point operations down each SIMD data path, mixing and matching based on the workload demand. The net result is faster frame render times for higher FPS from better utilization of all the functions in the compute unit. It handles now 2 times more instructions per clock. So we have also greatly enhanced the RDNA AI acceleration. And AI, of course, enables a host of capabilities that are growing in importance to the gaming community. And we've increased the AI throughput for commonly used math functions, which, while integrating these tightly within our unified compute unit. These share the same register files, caches, and instruction scheduling as the stream processors. And the enhancements provide up to a 2.7x increase in AI performance in the most area and power efficient way possible, setting RDNA 3 up to exploit the current and future uses of AI. The final enhancement to mention to our compute unit is the ray tracing acceleration, which is built on new instructions in the shader and support for DXR ray flags and many improvements for ray box sorting and traversal. Amplifying all of this is the ability to enable more rays in flight with that 50% larger general purpose register file that I mentioned before, combined with larger L0 and L1 caches to back it up. These improvements provide compelling gains for ray trace gaming content with up to 50% more performance per compute unit. Next, I want to introduce you to our Radiance Display Engine, featuring the industry's first DisplayPort 2.1 and a high-performance gaming graphics card. This DisplayPort enables 480 hertz refresh rates at 4K resolution and up to 165 at 8K. And the 12 color bits per channel enables an incredible 68 billion colors for amazingly realistic images and graphics. And with the display link bandwidth of up now to 54 gigabits per second, we have doubled that bandwidth per port over RDNA 2. And this supports the unprecedentedly high refresh rates at the highest resolutions. In support of the latest media formats and standards, we have a new dual media engine, and it supports 2 simultaneous encode or decode streams up to 8K60. For AVC and HEVC, it supports AV1 encode and decode, while also leveraging AI enhancements to improve video encoding and conference quality.
Yeah, people were pretty excited about the 2.1.
And by greatly increasing the frequency inside the media engine, we delivered up to 1.8x the performance versus RDNA 2, reducing export times almost in half. So now a bit more about clock speeds. These are obviously critical to performance.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
most
look
workloads
who it is.
that we have found
Hey,
and
who
analyzed
it is. Yeah, we're
are
here
actually more
watching it.
limited
Yeah,
by the
they're watching it
front-end
live right now.
distribution
Lots of
and
comments.
processing than by our high-performance shader engines. So we recognize that we could utilize higher frequencies in a smarter, more power-efficient way by using our new to RDNA 3 decoupled shader engine frequencies to run only the front end at a typical 2.5 gigahertz, while the shaders operate at a more efficient 2.3 gigahertz, which is still 15% higher than RDNA 2 at launch. With this sort of advanced power management, we deliver the maximum frames per second while also saving up to 25% power. This contributes to our remarkable 54% product level performance per watt gain. With the higher frequency and the new dual issue RDNA 3 compute units, we enable a 2.7x leap in raw compute power. You heard it from Lisa, a remarkable 61.6 teraflops of performance in this engine. Well, putting it all together, we have delivered on our vision by inventing the world's first chiplet-based gaming GPU, enabling the optimal use of 5-nanometer
guys,
technology.
just get ready to hold on to your butts,
15%
okay?
higher
That's all I'm going to
frequencies
say,
at
because it's about to
54%
get
better power
fun.
efficiency. Our advanced chiplet interconnect provides an amazing 2.7x leap in peak bandwidth to feed that 60-plus teraflop engine. The new unified RDNA 3 compute units have twice the instructions per clock, enabling them to fully utilize our data paths and provide incredibly high performance for rendering, ray tracing, and AI applications.
We can talk about the chiplets and stuff. We're going to go through the whole presentation after this and just do a full
We connect
debrief,
this
guys.
rendering
Don't worry.
horsepower to the industry's first GPU DisplayPort 2.1 to support massive refresh rates and include the encode and decode for all the latest media standards. The result is what we set out to achieve, the most advanced GPU optimized for gamers and creators. Now I'd like to hand it over to Scott, who will tell you more about this incredible product.
What's up, gamers?
Okay, here we
How
go.
is everybody doing
This
today?
is the fun part, guys.
Oh, we've been working on this for 3 years, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of hours in our engineering group. And I'm sure they're tuning in today, but I can't be more proud of what they've been able to create for you and to create for us, and it's going to be a great time. So now, I know what you want to see: performance, price, and availability. Is that right? Do you want to see that?
Is that what you guys want
Sounds
to see?
good, but you're going to have to stay for a little bit to get availability and price, but I'll show you performance. I'll show you some performance. So today, 4K sets the standard where enthusiast GPUs are measured. According to IDC, in the last 5 years, there is 3 times increase in
Nice,
shipments of
man.
4K monitors. And the Radeon RX 7900 XTX is going to be the perfect card to power your games at 4K. In pure rendering, the 7900 XTX is up to 1.7 times faster than our previous generation flagship GPU. And in ray tracing, we are seeing up to 1.6 times more performance in native 4K. What do you think? Now that you've seen the performance, allow me to introduce the Radeon RX 7900 XTX.
And I'll show you guys the cards on TikTok and Instagram.
Take
if
a
you guys
good
wanna
look.
see
We've
'em after
spent a
this.
lot of
I'll
time
make TikToks
optimizing
right
this
after
car, but more importantly, making sure that you're going to be proud when you put it into your rig. Absolutely fantastic. This gaming card is built to provide exciting performance in 4K resolution and beyond. RDNA 3-based GPUs are like no other. It features 96 unified RDNA 3 compute units running at 2.3 gigahertz game clock, and it comes with 24 gigabytes of GDDR6 with 384-bit support. This card is future-ready with AV1 encode and decode for streaming and video export, and it has the latest DisplayPort 2.1 technology for up to 4K 480 frames per second or 8K 165 frames per second gaming capabilities. All, ladies and gentlemen, with a board power of just 355 watts. The XTX.
355 watts. There you go. Nowhere near 600, guys.
Today, we are also announcing the Radeon RX 7900 XT, a massive leap in performance over the last generation. It features 84 unified compute units running at a game clock of 2 gigahertz and comes with 20 gigabytes of 320-bit GDDR6 memory with the same support
it's not thicker
for
than a
AV1 and
4090.
DisplayPort 2.1. The 7900 series gaming cards are industry leaders in performance per watt.
And then 300
There's
watts
no
on
need
that
to rebuild your
7900 XT.
desktop, no need to upgrade your case, and there's no need for a new power adapter.
Hey, NVIDIA. That's what they just did.
Yep. We made it as easy as pulling out your old card and putting in a new one. Previous generation enthusiast GPUs, including those recently launched by our competitor, only support DisplayPort 1.4. Gamers who purchase these graphics
I have to say,
cards
they
will
did
see
a
limited
charming
frame
job
rates.
of like
But with the RX
putting their
7900
punches
series of
into NVIDIA.
GPUs, it'll allow you to actually see the frames you are paying for when you upgrade to a DisplayPort 2.1 monitor. If you are paying that much money for a brand new gaming card, you should demand a GPU that will allow you to game into the future. And only the 7900
If you're paying
series
that
can give you
much,
And starting in early 2023, an incredible new generation of displays at a range of resolutions from leading display vendors will start rolling out to gamers, including this sneak peek from our friends at Samsung with their brand new Odyssey Neo G9, expected to be the first DisplayPort 2.1 8K, I'll say that again, 8K, ultra widescreen gaming monitor ever. What do you think?
yeah, I'm actually interested to see that monitor. They have some nice stuff here. I don't think they have it on display here at the
More details on
showcase,
the
but I'll
design and
see.
specs will be unveiled soon at CES in January of 2023. And to power high refresh rate gaming displays, both today and your future upgrades, we've developed a suite of powerful software enhancements, which includes technologies such as Fidelity FX, Super Resolution, and Smart Access Memory. Combined with our new unified RDNA 3 compute units, the Radeon RX 7900 series delivers the next generation of high refresh rate gaming. AMD's Fidelity FX Super Resolution, or FSR,
Oh, that's cool, Tenchi.
technology works on all modern GPUs to provide high fidelity visuals and incredible frame rates. In just 16 months, FSR will be available in 216 games, proving just how compelling open technologies are for the entire industry. Our latest update, FSR 2.2, reduces super resolution temporal ghosting, not only the artifacts on fast-moving objects, and it'll also be available in Forza Horizon 5 soon. Now, 1440p gaming displays with high refresh rates continue to be one of the fastest growing choices for gamers. With the 7900 XTX and Apex Legends, you will be able to reach the game's hard frame rate cap of 300 frames per second.
This is all the stuff
And
you
in
guys
other
wanted to
popular
see.
titles, the 7900 XTX can push your games to its limits. Games like Overwatch 2 and Valorant are great examples of why DisplayPort 2.1 is so important. Now, there's finally a gaming card to drive 300 to 800 frames plus frames per second gaming on ultra high refresh rate displays. Now, at 4K, the 7900 XTX is the card to get. By turning on max settings in AAA games and using FSR upscaling, you can hit triple digit
I love that they
performance.
actually put the display
It even
port
makes playing
1.4
competitive
limit line on
esports
there. That's
titles
actually
at
pretty
4K
cool.
a real possibility. Hundreds of frames in your games at 4K resolution. Now, I'm not saying that you would, but you could play games with RX 7900 XTX that go beyond today's 8K 60 hertz limits. In Dawn of Ragnarok, the latest expansion to Ubisoft's acclaimed Assassin's Creed
Yeah, I'll be
Valhalla.
at CES.
With FSR paired with the 7900 XTX, you'll be able to get 96 frames per second at a crisp 8K resolution.
Okay, with FSR, but still, that's pretty
It's
dang
truly
impressive.
incredible to see and experience. The RX 7900 series can power the next generation of displays like 8K ultra-wide or high refresh rate 8K
Insane
displays.
UPS driver.
above
It's not
60.
playable at less than 750
Next generation
frames. What are you talking
RDNA 3 compute units, new levels of memory bandwidth combined with the latest upscaling technologies deliver the performance to power these incredible experiences. A lot of gamers are excited about features like ray tracing in their games. Today, I'm excited to announce that DirectX ray tracing is coming to one of the most popular franchises in the world, Halo Infinite by 343 Industries. Halo Infinite will now support ray trace
Is
shadows
Halo
across arena and big
popular?
team battle modes.
I go,
And
I'd
players
love to know
with
your
AMD
thoughts,
hardware
chat.
will
I mean,
notice
this
improved
is
lighting,
impressive, but is Halo
sharper
really
shadows,
popular?
and increased performance on RX 7000 series platforms with ray tracing acceleration. DXR will be available in Season 3, so look for it in your graphics settings soon. And with the RDNA 3 architecture, real-time ray tracing performance has greatly improved generation over generation. In Dying Light 2, with ray tracing features turned to the max,
It doesn't make the
the
tech
7900
less
XTX
important. The
delivers
tech
performance
is awesome.
above 60 frames per second with FSR at 4K. Cyberpunk and Hitman 3 also have significant performance uplifts, giving you the performance you need to stay immersed in your game. But today we're also announcing a technical partnership with the Callisto Protocol coming in December. This third-person survivor horror
Oh my
game
gosh,
developed by
this looks
Striking
freaky,
Distance
guys.
Studios
I do
features
not want this to look
incredible
this
lighting and
good.
shadow
I'm already
effects,
scared to play it
along
in
with
December.
movie-quality textures and animations to set the eerie mood in this sci-fi experience. Ray tracing is used to full effect here, with shadows, translucency, and glossy refractions coming together to capture the most subtle details that create giant leaps in realism. At 4K and higher resolution, the Radeon RX 7900 series is optimized to deliver incredible frame rates to power this experience. Now next, we are also announcing a technical partnership with Luminous Productions and their action RPG, Forspoken, launching in January. Luminous Productions has created some truly
Tenchi.
breathtaking visuals in a fully realized fantasy world, powered by hybrid ray tracing for realistic lighting and shadows on the characters and environments. Forspoken looks and runs incredibly fast thanks to its implementation of Fidelity FX features, including FSR, variable rate shading, ambient occlusion, and downsampler, all optimized for Radeon. We've worked closely with game studios to optimize for the next generation of games. At Ubisoft, Snowdrop has been in development for over a decade and is one of its most important gaming engines. This is the same engine utilized across a variety of PC and multi-platform
Which one is that, Org?
titles.
Which one's the
From
first
Mario and
Dark
Rapid Sparks of Hope to Tom Clancy's Division 2. By the way, one of my personal favorites, Long Live the Bullet King. If you play the game, you'll know.
I didn't know that.
Today, we are announcing our partnership with their next generation engine. This tech demo is beautifully rendered with global illumination, blur reflections, and shadows in addition to other effects that the Snowdrop engine uses, such as volumetric weather effects and micro detail rendering. We've worked with Ubisoft to add a highly optimized AMD ray tracing implementation that unlocks even smarter ray processing than DXR alone can provide. With high performance ray tracing enabled on a 7900 XTX, we are getting frame rates above 80 frames per second at 4K with FSR2. We're excited to see the Snowdrop engine come to life
They're
in
falling
major
kind of
upcoming
NVIDIA
titles,
here with the
including
FSR stuff with
Avatar:
everything, so it's
Frontiers
hard
of
to know
Pandora,
what the
Splinter
native
Cell,
is.
and Ubisoft Star Wars project. Right? Let's go, indeed. With the announcement of Unreal Engine 5, a lot of gamers, including myself, are excited to see what new games and experiences will be created in this popular engine. UE5 is optimized to take full advantage of our unified RDNA 3 compute units with excellent ray tracing and rasterization performance. In this UE5 sample, optimized for Radeon, we're able to hit an average of 60 frames per second at 4K with FSR2 enabled. Even with the resounding success of FSR2, we won't stop there. I'm excited to show you a preview of a brand new version of Fidelity FX super resolution technology, appropriately named FSR3. FSR3 combines our best-in-class temporal super resolution technology and our new AMD Fluid Motion Frames technology to deliver more frames per second in your games. Fluid Motion Frames increases FPS when using very demanding settings. FSR3 will provide up to a 2 times increase in frames per second at 4K resolution over FSR2, a significant boost across your supported games, and will be coming to PC gamers in 2023.
I'll talk a little bit about that at the end.
To
Sorry,
give an
there's
idea
some
of
weird
what's
demo
possible
playing,
with our
but
brand new
yeah, the
generation of
FSR3
gaming
stuff
cards,
is
I'd like to
super
show you what
nebulous.
Sava and his small team of artists were able to create using a standard animation pipeline to build their dark sci-fi fantasy film, Beckoning, in Unreal Engine in just 4 months. Let's hear from Sava.
My name is Sava Živković. I wrote and directed Beckoning, and I want to briefly talk about how Unreal Engine 5 and AMD are empowering small teams to create cinema-class animated films. In Unreal Engine 5, Lumen and Nanite shine with the Radeon RX 7900 XTX, allowing us to walk around completely lit environments and characters and to explore the shots. This significantly speeds up the production and enables us to make creative decisions at the speed of thought. You can change the lighting, character or environment placement, or entirely change the camera angle if you so desire. This amount of speed and flexibility is unprecedented in traditional animation pipelines, and is one of the main reasons why I personally believe producing feature-length animation with smaller teams is now a reality. And when it comes to high-fidelity output, the FSR Movie Render Cube plugin upscales the final frame rendering to 4K or even 8K. CG animation has never
This
been
demo
as
is actually
fast
really
and
impressive.
as fun.
Pretty cool. By the way, in reviewing that video, it sure does make it look easy to create a new movie, doesn't it? But it does. I don't think it is. The Radeon RX 7900 series are the most advanced gaming GPUs. First of all, they are easy to upgrade into your existing gaming rig. They feature industry-leading enthusiast GPU support for next-generation displays. They will deliver ultra-high frame rates in both native and upscale games, and of course,
No, they
comes
are not,
up to
Stephen.
24 gigabytes of memory to drive the next generation of games and advanced workloads. All of our innovations enable the 7900 XTX to deliver an incredible leap in performance of up to 1.7 times faster 4K gaming. Now, let me invite Frank Azor to the stage to show you how the Radeon RX 7900 series powers the next generation of gaming and streaming experiences. Frank?
Wow. I am incredibly excited to be here with you guys today. It's just been so long since we've been able to all be together and to do this the way it deserves to be done, right? In person and just with all these incredible games and visuals behind us. What do you guys think about the new graphics cards? Awesome, right?
So far, what do you guys think? Like general feeling?
Don't
what
worry,
do you guys think?
Scott's going to
Good?
come back and
Good?
tell you
What?
when you're going to be able to get them and what they're going to be priced at, okay? I promise. But they're incredible graphics cards. But you know what's even more incredible is that at AMD, you get more than just a great graphics card. We're committed to building the absolute best gaming, creating, and streaming experiences. I'm going to share with you today a little bit about some of our latest developments of how we're pulling it all together to bring you the next generation of PCs. Great hardware
They already said
As
they
you've seen
didn't.
today,
There's no connectors,
deserves
pins.
great software. And AMD Adrenalin is your software interface for harnessing the full potential of your AMD-powered system. We're committed to bringing you an Adrenalin software that you can depend on and that offers you state-of-the-art features and next-level gaming experiences, as well as streaming and for creating. If you're not already familiar with AMD Adrenalin, let me catch you up real quickly to what you've been missing. Adrenalin is your hub for just about everything. You can find and launch your games, plus monitor your stats and performance across all the games on your system, all from one home screen. You can customize your Radeon settings for each game, as well as record and stream those games right from within the UI. You can even turn your system into its own personal game server and connect your smartphone, tablet, or another Windows PC to play your games remotely from anywhere. And of course, you can take full control over your AMD graphics card and your Ryzen CPU and tune them for maximum performance and efficiency. Adrenalin, it's simply awesome. But there's probably two things that I love most about Adrenalin. First, it's the fact that all these features are within one unified UI. And second, it's a completely unlocked experience, meaning we don't force you to create an account. You're not going to be monitored by us. You're not going to be tracked. You can just access all these features. You can customize your system to your
Another
content.
NVIDIA.
Just play the games you love. That's what you deserve.
By the way, that
So let me
clap
talk
was
to you
me.
about some of the
That one who
upcoming
started
features
that
you can
clap on
expect
that.
from the next version of Adrenalin. Existing features like Radeon Super Resolution, Radeon Boost, and Anti-Lag are huge performance amplifiers for your gaming experience. But let's be honest, most of us don't want to have to learn about each new feature, how it works, which games it works on, which features work best with one another. When we finally get some time to sit down and game, it's just too much complexity to deal with. I just want to get in the game and I want to play. So we heard you. To
It's
simplify
just
all
in that
this,
part of the app,
we're
VTN.
introducing HyperRX mode. With HyperRX, we've redeveloped these performance boosting technologies to all work together and at the same time, compounding their benefits and giving you a one-click experience to improve frame rate and latency. In the game Dying Light 2, just to give you an example, in the game Dying Light 2, we're seeing performance improvements with HyperRX up to 85% with 1/3 of the latency. It's incredible. So look
Yes,
forward to
Scotty,
HyperRX
essentially.
coming out early next year. You can experience it yourself. All right, so let's talk about what are we doing to help improve your recording and your streaming experience. OBS, as many of you know, is the leading video recording and live streaming platform out there, and it's used by some of the world's most successful and popular streamers. Well, we've partnered with OBS to improve video streaming quality across all bit rates on Radeon RX 6000 and 7000 series graphics cards. Additionally, with the new AMD RDNA 3 media engine, we've added AV1 hardware encoding, improving quality and transforming live streaming. In this example, we're looking at a recorded image of Halo, captured with OBS on the Radeon 7900 XTX graphics.
I like it, Sean.
Both images were captured at the same
Hey, look, it's David Ellis. He's
3.5
famous.
megabit per second bitrate. As you can see behind me, the quality of the stream and the text within it is visibly pixelated. But with the addition of our AV1 hardware encoding, updated pre-analysis and pre-filtering algorithms, plus our OBS optimizations, the playback quality substantially improves, providing a clear, sharp, and a smooth viewing experience. Additionally, with Xilinx AI and content adaptive machine learning technology, we've integrated that into the AMD framework, and it's been trained to learn, predict, and target small text and menus, making them legible again, especially when streaming at low bit rates and resolutions up to 1080p. The new AMD RDNA 3 media engine reaches beyond streaming, though. With our dedicated AV1 hardware processing, video encoding is up to 7 times faster than
YouTube
software,
has AV1,
even at
Twitch does
ultra-high
not.
resolutions like 8K. Support for the RDNA 3 media engine will be available across applications like Adobe
It'll
Premiere
be at the end
Pro,
of the presentation. You've
FFmpeg,
been randomly
Handbrake,
selected,
and in
just so
upcoming
you know.
releases of OBS. And then for video creators, any video creators in the audience? Anybody create video? You're gonna love this. So we're introducing
This
something
is
we
pretty
call
interesting
Smart
right
Access
here.
Video. Smart Access Video works with select applications when you pair the Ryzen 7000 series with the new Radeon 7000 series. And unlike other platforms that can really only make use of either your CPU or your GPU's video compression engines, Smart Access Video distributes the encoding and decoding workloads across both your Ryzen CPU and your Radeon graphics card's video compression engines, enabling faster 4K and 8K editing. And when it comes to batch transcoding, Smart Access Video reduces parallel transcoding times by nearly 1/3. Smart Access Video will be available across applications like OBS, Premiere Pro, FFmpeg, and more starting in December. So next, let me share with you how we're bringing all these technologies and all this greatness together for you into our AMD Advantage solutions. So when we first introduced Advantage laptops, we raised the bar of what defines just a great experience. And Advantage
Hey, we've
laptops
covered
have
some of
been
these.
carefully designed and developed with our partners to ensure that their premium experiences are felt throughout. Multiple models of these laptops are available in market right now from your favorite OEM and SI partners. And look, nothing compares to building your own desktop if you can, all right? But for those of us that maybe don't have the time, the experience, or the will to do so right now, we've applied the great AMD Advantage design framework that we applied to laptops originally, and we're bringing that to desktops now. We've partnered with several leading system integrators to bring you these turnkey solutions so that whether you're gaming, you're streaming, or creating, Advantage desktops have been designed and developed with our partners to be the best desktops you'll find in the market. All the incredible performance you saw here today from the 7900 XTX, well, that's what you can expect with Advantage desktop systems. It starts by pairing our Ryzen 9 processor and our Radeon XTX graphics card. Then we amplify that performance with our smart technologies, including Smart Access Memory and Smart Access Video, as well as the full feature set of Adrenalin software, including Radeon Super Resolution, AMD Noise Suppression, HyperRX, and more. But Advantage goes even further than that by ensuring every component from the motherboard
They're getting
to
a
the
lot more
NVMe
frequent now,
drives, to the
Magical
memory,
Panda,
the power
because
supply,
of the
all the
AMD
rest,
Advantage stuff.
they all work seamlessly together, and they're all tuned for maximum performance with every design and quality metric followed. Next, we focus on each system delivering its full graphics potential. We know that peak visual quality and performance are incredibly important to gamers. So Advantage desktops have been thermally designed, reliably powered, and rigorously tested to ensure that they deliver on the highest resolution and refresh rate experiences possible on the 7900 XTX. And it all comes together when you pair them with one of the over 2,500 AMD FreeSync monitors available.
Yes,
allowing you to
essentially
experience the
Fever.
most
I'll
demanding
talk a little bit more of that
games
in
at their smoothest
we go to the
and highest
debrief at the end.
And of course, each Advantage desktop is built to game with a full configuration of premium components.
I'm actually
all tuned
in the
and tested
presentation you're watching right
reliably
now. Like I'm in
to
that
give you
audience.
maximum
Second row
performance
back in the middle,
every
right in front of the guy.
single time. We're really excited to be working with all of these partners on bringing you the first generation of Advantage desktops. It's been awesome to be here with you guys today. This is a historic moment. Thank you so much for your time. Let me welcome Scott back on the stage.
Thank you, Frank. Okay, are you ready? All right, what an incredible day of announcements that will transform the future of graphics in games. The AMD Radeon 7900 series, built for extreme performance to drive 4K and 8K high refresh rate gaming monitors, powered by the world's most advanced gaming graphics architecture, RDNA 3. Here we go. Starting December 13th, 2022, you'll be able to purchase the 7900 XTX for $999. The world's fastest gaming card under $1,000. Also on December 13th, 2022, you'll be able to purchase the 7900 XT for $899.
There was a visible gap.
$999 and $899. The world's most advanced gaming GPUs powering your gaming rig for years to come. That's the end of our show. Thank you for joining us today, and we can't wait to get these gaming cards in your hands in December. Have a great rest of your day.
Okay, guys, so that's done. Hold on, wait. So now we get to have some fun because this is one of the benefits of them doing this for me. So we're gonna mute this and then hide this and then check this out. Let's do it this way. Hold on. You guys ready? Ready for some magic? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Screen. Hold on. Hold on. 1 second. Okay, so let us, now we can have some fun because you guys have seen everything. We're good. I'm gonna close this and then I'm gonna bring this up and then what we can do, hold on, let me make sure I can see your chat. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so let's go through this real quick so we can just basically see this. Okay, here we go. So here's the presentation again. So here we go. So walking through it, I mean, interesting stuff here, advancing gaming. Okay, so this is super interesting here in terms of all of the stuff that actually AMD is actually a part of. I thought this was actually pretty cool. You got Tesla, Steam Deck, you've got basically the PlayStation 5. So there's a bunch that you're going to kind of see as part of this presentation that kind of comes through, with the stuff that we're going to show up a little bit later. I will say, I'll be really clear, they did not do any comparisons. They were we asked flat out in the ask, if it's like, how does it compare against their NVIDIA counterparts? There is no numbers whatsoever in terms of how it compares. We don't have rasterization uplift, other than compared to a 6950 XT, and everything was still hidden behind FSR, and there's enough ambiguity in the FSR settings for us to really know how much more powerful it is. So is it a 3090 Ti, is it a 3090, is it a 4090? I don't know. What we do know about the card is that it's less power by a lot, like 330 watts. It is not power limited, so people are asking, well, can it have 3 8-pins? Can it have 4 8-pins? Absolutely. There is no power restriction for overclocking headroom. They were really clear about that in the follow-up. So in terms of can you overclock these cards? Absolutely. And you will do it for less power, and essentially we've heard less heat. And then price, crazy, like $999, $899 is a really, really good price. When do you all get, so we're supposed to, I mean, I'm assuming before December 13th, we're quite a ways in terms of just how it is from launch standpoint. So, but I'm gonna get to go see the cards right after this. I'm gonna wrap this up. We're gonna chat for another 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna go take a look at the cards. I'll be at the demo station. So I'll show you guys, so the embargo for that stuff will be around 6 or 7 o'clock tonight. So we'll be able to show the cards, all that sort of stuff will be later tonight. So you guys will see us holding them. I'm trying to get a 4090 so I can show you size comparisons, but I'll be able to tell you guys that because we have 9 of them, so we'll be able to talk about that. Yeah, and again, we don't know how it is versus the 4080 Ti or anything like that. There really is no performance numbers in here, guys. There's the things that they hit on was DisplayPoint 2.1 with FSR. Like it does cross some bars, so there's some very improved. It just depends, right? Like there's a lot that we have to wait and see once we get to know like how it actually performs. The chiplet stuff. This was super interesting. Like this right here, the stuff that they're talking about, the chiplets. I'm not going to go into it too much because again, it's not really stuff that you guys all care about. But this chiplet stuff, which is what made the 5000 series and all those other ones just so magical. It's a very power efficient way, and it's almost a modular way for them to do the things that they need to do, which I thought it was really cool that they brought that over to Radeon. And at the same time, you know, low heat and low power, so which is what we're seeing in terms of the overall improvement. Other thing too, the card is PCIe Gen 4, so Gen 4. It is not Gen 5. It is a Gen 4 card. That was the other thing that it was kind of it was alluded to when he talked about the plug and play, but yes, it is very clear that the card is Gen 4. It's not Gen 5. This stuff wasn't all that important. We did talk about the improvement generation over generation, but this is performance per watt. There was no way. We tried to do some math to kind of figure out what this meant, but there wasn't anything we could do about it. Then you got to see the cards. I think the cards are really, really attractive between these two cards. These cards are amazing looking. They're just great looking cards. And I love this one. I really wish this one was this one, but I can understand that they wanted to make like the XT, probably the more appealing or visually appealing card. So I really like a big fan of that. More about the chiplets and this stuff, and then they get into the architecture. That's not my bag. I mean, it was exciting, but the raw compute stuff. Okay, so here's where we got this. So this was this was versus the 6950 XT at 4K. We don't have any 1440p numbers. The problem is, and I was talking to Linus, the cool guys, I got to hang out with Linus, I got to hang out with, I mean, not Linus, with Linus's team, with Gamers Nexus, we got to hang out with Jay, just really, really good conversations. But this is, because our 6950 data, there's new drivers and stuff like that, it's really hard for us to tell and extrapolate what this might mean. I think Linus's team with their labs team might be able to get you some ideas of what this is, but this is about the most we can do, and where you probably in the next couple weeks probably find out what it is from an overall like power standpoint. I still think at the price point we're going to be good, right? Like I think this is a genuine like gut punch for NVIDIA. I do believe that, but you know, until we can actually test them, we're not sure. This was crazy, 355 watts. Same thing with this, 300 watts. That DisplayPort 2.1, 24 gigs. It is GDDR6. That was the other thing that's worth noting. It's GDDR6, not GDDR6X. GDDR6 was specifically chosen for heat and power purposes over GDDR6X. I do have some numbers. I'd have to find them in terms of what the overall like speed is and stuff like that. But all in all, like I don't think you're going to see any issues with that. But this is worth noting, and as is the board power and DisplayPort 2.1. Yeah, and that was their thing, SD1. It also uses more power. So this is actually to keep this wattage and the cost down. Gen 4, GDDR6, and then the thing that they really added was DisplayPort 2.1. Same thing with this, 300 watts, only 20 gigs, but still, I mean, $100 difference between the two. This was funny. It was funny. They did a great job. This reminded me a lot of the PlayStation 5 after the Microsoft Xbox fiasco, where they just made jokes about you can just plug and play. It's 8 pins, 330 watts versus 355 watts. But again, like I said, you are not power restricted here. You can do 3, 4, 10 if you wanted to, and the AIBs and partner cards have the ability to add stuff to this. So if they want to overclock, they can. This was a cool thing. This is stuff I didn't know. Basically at 1440p, like how much higher frame rate can go. To be honest, like they did some, like I don't know. Like we're looking at next year before the first 2.1 cards are out. I will say for this. This is at high end. This is at enthusiast level for people who worry about this. I don't think this is going to have a big impact in terms of esports. I mean, esports, they just got finished doing their meeting. They're going to stick with 1080p. So it's really like 1440p, 4K. This is really for like a niche enthusiast market, right? But at the same time, like the fact of the matter is that you can and see cool content around this is going to be interesting. And there are people who are going to want to play 8K and 4K at these frame rates and even game at that. And this does allow them to do that. 4K 360 hertz screens, that's the more interesting thing, right? Is like this is where I feel like NVIDIA like kind of capped themselves with DisplayPort 1.4, which is like the 360 at 4K. But yeah, we'll have to see what comes out of that. It's a flex at 2.1, I agree. It's a very, very small amount of people who are going to actually buy the monitors. It's going to take a while for the adoption, but you know what? Honestly, it's great that they did it. So this thing I can't wait to see. I hope they have one. I don't think they will, but we're supposed to get more information at CES about this. So I was talking about this like really early on. I was talking about the stuff where all the games and stuff that they support. I will say this is starting to come to fruition for the folks at AMD, right? 216 games, because they're in PlayStation, because they're in Xbox, because they're in Stream Deck. I feel like they're getting a lot of that wide adoption. You know, I still feel like there is a education problem around their Fidelity software, but I think the fact that you're going to have more Fidelity FX and AMD optimized titles is going to help people also make that jump. You remember, I mean, AMD has historically been less expensive at times, and you'll still find every NVIDIA card sold out. But I mean, I saw, like, I came away from this in a lot more impressed and excited about where AMD was, and that was kind of the big thing that I got away from this. But yeah, a lot of game support, which I think is going to be a big thing for them, and they showed that off with like the Project Calypso and all that sort of stuff. I'm trying to think. This was crazy. Again, numbers that most of us don't worry about. I mean, people have been able to do this at 1080p for a long time, and you can do this at 1440p on a 4090. But again, still cool to see, and the fact that it actually isn't capped because of DisplayPort 1.2. This was also interesting too. I loved this slide. I love this right here, because this was just a great way to educate people in terms of, this is like saying, hey, no matter what, like even if our numbers, like say for instance, NVIDIA's numbers were higher than this is where it's actually capped at 4K gaming. Does that make sense? So this is where DisplayPort 1.4 actually makes a difference. And from an enthusiast standpoint, this was just a really smart move on AMD's part. So really, like, thought this was a good, and I'm talking about this specifically, this bar right here was pretty cool. Same thing with 8K, it shows you 60 hertz is the display point, or 135, for 8K ultra wide and 8K. That was actually pretty crazy. I didn't know that. But again, it shows you if NVIDIA is higher than this, it doesn't matter because they're capped by basically the display point. Yeah. Here's the high performance 4K ray tracing. Again, all of this stuff though, so we did ask this, it's with FSR, and again, couldn't really tell you pure rasterization. We don't know. And the other thing too is they told us they're not willing to talk to us about their ray tracing execution in terms of hardware, etc., or whether it was AI. So there's still more information to come. So there's some stuff there. Now in their hardware design, they talked about their ray tracing hardware technology. But again, uplift is shown here, but there's a lot of kind of nebulous stuff that we still need to unpack and get numbers. The fluid motion thing, that was interesting. I'll talk about that here in a minute. So again, they showed a lot of games. I thought this was actually really cool. Org Chaos, I don't know if you guys know who he is. He's one of the people here in the chat. Told me that this is actually one of the first direct draw titles. So it'll be interesting how this thing goes. I know that NVIDIA has their direct draw protocol already in place. I don't know if anything about AMD's side, but I did not know that about this game. They didn't bring any of that up, but again, Forspoken, technical, again, some good technical partnerships with some really big games, and it'll be cool to see. That just means more support. And this is a huge one. Ubisoft makes a lot of games, so having Snowdrop do engine stuff, also very, very neat. And then the Unreal 5 thing was also cool. And then they announced FSR 3. And the fluid motion frames came up, and that is, I don't know. We asked the question, does that mean frame generation? They said they're not in a place to talk about it, and so it'll be something they talk about at a later date. I guess 2023, if I remember correctly. If I misquote that, I'm sorry, but we don't know what fluid motion frames are. Well, it's not the old DX, but the thing is that it's actually on PlayStation 5 and on the Xbox Series X, their new implementation, which is like made a massive difference in terms of just being able to do performance out of hardware. That's the direct draw we're talking about, not the old direct draw. Trying to think if there's anything. Okay, so this was also. So I asked the question. So people are asking, what is? I was disappointed here because what I was hoping for was similar to what Org and some other people were talking about, where they had their smart access memory, etc. And I wanted to get some. I was hoping that there would be, hey, if you use a AMD CPU and an AMD GPU, you'd see some sort of uplift, like an AMD Advantage. Now, the AMD Advantage program that they talked about here in this case was more about their like a pre-built program, and that's things like it has to be an X670, it has to be a certain NVMe, it has to be a gold rated power supply, it has to be a 7950, a Ryzen 9, so it has to be a Ryzen 9, and then at the same time it also has to have either the XTX or just the XT GPU. There's also audio limits, like how loud it can be under cooling, etc. So it is like essentially like if you buy the system and it's AMD Advantage, kind of like the Nintendo seal of approval, then you know that you have an ideal, well-performing and tunable system that works well within the AMD ecosystem. Now, I did ask the question flat out, it's like, hey, are you going to make that stuff public so if people who want to do this from the PC DIY can do the same thing? And the answer was that they would, if they want to do it, they'd have to go look at like Falcon Northwest or Origin or whatever it was and copy what those systems are and then use that hardware as a guideline. But there wouldn't be like if you want to make your AMD Advantage work as a PC DIYer, there's no guide to follow to figure that out. I feel like that's something that we can push with them because I'd like to see something like that. I love the idea that is being born here, but I feel like having the execution only on the pre-built and partner side it kind of feels, those of us who build PCs, it kind of leaves us a little bit out to dry. The other thing too is that there is no like for all the hardware stuff. It also wasn't really clear if there's Radeon, like specifically. Oh my gosh, the name of it's been a long day. Their hardware. Sorry, their software. The Radeon software, Adrenaline. If there was an Adrenaline component to that, so it talks about it like in terms of it working here, but it doesn't have like a specific Adrenaline settings if you have this specific stuff. So really, really cool idea. They are going to have some systems for us to check out that are AMD Advantage, but I feel like there's a part of the community that's being left out because it's only pre-built. No, there isn't. So Jake, I asked that question specifically, and there is nothing like that right now. Thank you very much, Whoosh, for telling me that. Okay, so this was the only thing that they talked about, which was the multi-stream transcode, which is basically this 30% uplift, the Smart Access video stuff. There is stuff like this that is game specific within their AMD Advantage on laptops. I was hoping there'd be a desktop version of some of this stuff, but there isn't outside of Smart Access Video. So I feel like that was a little bit of a miss. We talked about this already. Superior graphics and then built to game. This is what I was telling you about. It talks about premium. It has to be liquid, has 2 terabyte, has to have AMD Expo. Toolless entry. This one was interesting. Like I was like, I don't know what this means. And then 80 plus gold, but there's more to it than this as well. And then it talks about the systems. We're gonna have some of these, so we'll show some of these off. There's the cards and there's the price, guys. So they did not show any AIB designs. We did ask if they're going to be available December 13th as well. They said as long as there are not supply chain issues, those should be out on time without any issues and launching at the same time. They didn't say anything about the price uplift from AIBs, but again, given that they can add more wattage or overclocking headroom, that's well within their capability, so I expect them to be more expensive. They also said that they expect to be they expect supply, given if things continue the way they are, to be pretty good at launch. So people should be able to buy them through, all the way through the month of December. So it does miss the holiday side, but yeah, that's what it was. There was nothing on the lower end cards, so they didn't really talk much about they didn't talk at all, let's be clear. And so when I did my whole video on what are the things that I wish that they would have done, I wish they would have had a roadmap for some of the lower ones, and I don't have any information on when they're gonna talk about the lower end cards. Yeah, Jake, and that's the thing, is like that was, somebody asked, the first question that came out of their mouth was, the first 2 questions that were asked in the Q&A is, how does it compare against 4000 series, of which they didn't answer, and then the second was, how available is it gonna be at December? And they said they expect to have good stock. They did say that. Yes, I can share this. I'll put this up on Discord for people. I'll put it up in the tech. I'll put it up in the tech thing. I think. Let me ask. I'll ask that first. But I think because the embargo's past this 2 p.m. now, I think I can share it. But I'll confirm that, and if I can, I'll put it up there on Discord, and I'll let Discord know. Yeah, Nitro, I am in agreement as well. I got some information that was off the record, so I cannot tell you if what they said, but that gave me some reasoning. But there is some reasons as to why they didn't show it. So I think there's going to have to be published numbers before December. There just has to be. I can ask Richard. I'll ask that question. I'll ask about the Linux stuff. I'll see if there's. I'm going to go talk to him. Make sure you're on Discord, and I'll put it in Discord. Any answers to those questions. And if you guys have questions, you can just put them up in the tech chat on Discord, and then just at me, and I'll try and get those questions answered. So, I agree, Captain Cosmic. I was really hoping that we would see that specific stuff. Any other questions, guys? I want to make sure that we give you guys the insight on the card. I've been through I got to watch a presentation. I got to ask a bunch of questions, and then I got to watch it live with it. And so I'm hoping, hey, what's up? But it's good to see you. Am I excited? I am excited. I am actually. I started working on builds in my head already, but again, it's hard for me to know until I know what the rasterization and uplift is comparatively to what card I will use in my build. I need to see benchmarks, yes. Fever, I'll ask them. I'm afraid the answers will be no, but yeah, I will ask for sure. Yeah, I will say it is a smaller, sleeker card. I'll show you guys that. Oh, hold on. I can show. Let me see. I got some other stuff. Let me see if I can show it. Hold on. I got all these other embargoes, so I got a bunch of materials. Let me see what I got here. Yeah, there's nothing that shows, like, it's nothing that shows like a good size, like a good side. It doesn't look too thick, you know what I mean? Here, let me see if I'll show you this. Like, here, let's look at this right here. I wish there was an easier way to do this. Hold on, let me do this. Properties, and then I'll go to here you go. So here is a blowout of the card, and again, when you look at this, like, it's 2 slots, right? So it's a 2-slot card. I mean, this is already significantly smaller than the this is significantly smaller than a 40 series. This, I mean, you can just tell just by this right here that it's significantly smaller than a 40 series. Fever, I know. I don't know when I'm going to be able to I don't know when I'm going to be able to test them, Jared. We don't have, and we'll be embargoed till some certain time, so I don't know the answer to that yet. Yeah, this is, so that, I think this right here does a good job. Ooh, look guys, we got some animations here. Ooh, look at that. So there is the card, you know what I mean? But again, it's 2.5 slots. It's 2.5 slots, right? So I don't see this being, like, this seems very reasonable. Yeah. But I mean, again, we can use this right here. We can use this right here to show that comparison. Yeah. Okay, guys, well, I guess if there's anything else, that you guys need, I wanna make sure we get some time. I want to get some B-roll and stuff for you guys to, well, I want to get you guys some shots of the actual some stuff of the GPU. So follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok. We'll be there. We'll show you guys the cards. We'll get you guys some comparisons and all that other stuff. And then we'll have a second video out that'll just show as much as I can for that. There is a video coming out any minute, hopefully. Yeah. There's a... I will have a video that should be coming out very minute that'll be kind of like the recap of this whole thing too, so hopefully you'll get some information on that. And then how many display ports? You can see it right there. It looks like 2, and it's 1 HDMI, 2 display ports, and a USB-C. Okay, guys. Well, thank you very much for tuning in to this last minute. I'm actually literally in Las Vegas right now, right at the AMD event. So I'm actually here. Wanted to live stream. I'm literally in the middle of a lobby because I wanted to be as close to this event as humanly possible to show you guys this. But I'm gonna go. I will see you guys on the next stream, and really, really appreciate you guys tuning in. We had like a ton of people, so really appreciate that, guys. And I hope you guys have a great day, and look for more from us very, very